All right, guys. I think it's working this time. I think we are actually live on our Facebook page. So, welcome everyone. I'm sorry we were 10 minutes delayed, but we are live here on Zoom and on Facebook. So, it's a little bit different because I'm the only one that is in Studio L. We are all socially distant from each other. Ryan is not socially distant from Smokey the Bear. But I don't believe, I'm not a doctor, but I don't believe that you can transmit anything from man to bear. So I think we're all safe. As you can see on the screen, I am Big Jim. Ryan, how are we doing this Thursday evening?
Only you can prevent COVID-19.
That is true. That is
I'm
true.
doing good, Big Jim. It's so good to see all your faces. Tim's here, Matt, Mark, the whole gang. This is odd that all of us are together, but
It
the
is.
power of Zoom bringing us together
Is this
and
the
supporting
first
us.
time? I think this might be the first time that we've all been together on a broadcast. Is that correct? I don't think all five of us have ever been on doing a show together. I think this is a monumental moment.
I mean, do you not remember the infamous Hodecker celery incident?
Oh shit. Yeah. Well, that was a record. So maybe this
That's
is the first
true. That's
maybe
true.
this is the
That
first
was a
live
record.
show
First live.
that we are all together.
It's
Who
happening.
won that? Who won that draft, or who came in last?
Do we really have to talk about winners and losers? I just don't think it's appropriate.
Jim, go wash the dishes.
I have to go wash the dishes after this is over, or at least before tomorrow evening. At least that's what I've been told. But man, yeah, it is good to talk to everybody. Sorry, I'm just making sure I get the broadcast shared out. Starting the old watch party on Facebook, and yeah, it is good to hear. Matt, how we doing tonight?
Doing well. I'm feeling a little left out because everyone has like the figures close. Mine are pretty far, but I do have this nice Splash Mountain one that I can hold up randomly for effect. But
Very
doing
nice.
well, working from home this week, so staying in as much as I can, only leaving to pick up stuff from like
Good.
Target and not going into the stores. So staying safe.
So do they still do the where you can pick it up, where they bring it out to your car or whatever? They still do that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. I wish I would have known that. I probably would have like bought stuff from Target because I'm just a homebody at this point. But Tim, how we doing?
I'm great. Nothing's different aside from just not being able to do what I want to do whenever I want to do it, wherever I want to do it. But other than that, it's Thursday. We're podcasting.
We are podcasting. It is Thursday. This is the first live show we've done in over a month.
Hey.
So here we are.
All of our voices perfectly rested.
Intern Mark, how are we doing? It's been a long time.
Man, it's great to see you guys. I miss you all. We're doing great. I'm a little chilly, but I'm good.
Is it just because it's cold in that? Close the windows, Mark. It's cold.
And it's well, I was airing out the estates here.
The long halls at the Hottenstein estate catch wind really easy.
They do. They absolutely do. And I can't wait until the post-quarantine barbecue that will be had.
Yeah, I can't wait
at the Hottenstein Estates. That will be a glorious day. If you're following along with us in the live video, first off, we appreciate it. We appreciate you joining us here for the first time in a very long time. Give it a like, give it a share. We'd appreciate that. I don't know how long we're going to be live. We'll figure that out kind of as we go here. And, and as long as there's things to talk about, we're going to talk about them. Obviously, the news over the last, 24, 36, 48 hours has not been very good. But before we really dig into anything, the first thing I want to do is recognize that the wrestling world lost really one of the great ones today, Howard Finkel, passing away at the age of 69. I know He had a pretty major stroke, I think, a couple of years ago. Has not been in great health over the past, 6 months or what have you. So, just that's the first thing is our thoughts go out to the Fink and his family, and obviously the wrestling world as a whole that is impacted today. So, obviously, when we talk about like wrestler deaths, we always talk about kind of the impact and favorite match or this and that. So I think it obviously a little bit different when you're talking about a ring announcer. But is there a certain call? Is there a certain Finkism? I don't know the best way to describe it. But when you hear Howard Finkel, maybe put it this way: when you hear Howard Finkel, what comes to your mind first? We'll go to you, Ryan.
Probably the greatest ring announcer of all time. Like that's the first thing that comes to mind. Just what an iconic voice. I think Madison Square Gardens. But ultimately, the first thing that came to my mind when I heard the news was Finkus Maximus. Back at the WrestleMania shit, whatever it was.
Well, it was a
9.
shitty Mania. It was 9.
Whoa.
That was
WrestleMania
pretty bad.
shit.
Whoa.
It's an awful
It's
Mania.
no WrestleMania 11, but it's pretty bad.
It's a bad
Oh.
Mania.
Yeah, it wasn't a good one.
Bad Mania.
It wasn't a good one. And it wasn't just because Hulk Hogan got the glory that Bret Hart should have had.
Get the hell out.
But Ficus Maximus, that's a good one. Matt, how about you?
I mean, the tuxedo match is always what stands out to me when I think of him. Just kind of like shows his willingness to do anything for the business too. So beyond ring announcing, I know a lot of people posted today who are in the field of ring announcing that he was an inspiration to them. So it's you can't really deny the legacy that he left moving forward. But that is always what jumps to my mind. It's just that infamous tuxedo match.
Infamous is a great way to describe that match. Tim, when you hear Howard Finkel, the name Howard Finkel, what comes to your mind?
And new any championship call from Howard Finkel always felt special. I go back to him announcing the winners of the 1994 Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah,
that was
the confusion.
Because they announced both Brett and Luger, and then did Brett and Luger together. So, it's a real downer. I'm glad that as weird as it sounds, I'm glad he's passed away. I know I've heard that he's not been in the best of health recently. And so any sort of respite from suffering, I am always here for.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to Talk and Shop, the Good Brothers podcast. Well, they're back now, and it's not a result of what happened yesterday.
They came back before that, but now
they've had, I think, 3 episodes that had dropped previously, and I listened to the first one today, and they have always done a really good Fink impression on there. I believe Gallows is the one that hits that one. But they even said, like, look, he's not doing well, and we're kind of retire that one. So and that was a couple of weeks ago. So obviously, he was kind of in bad shape, and I think there was a couple of points where we were live on the air where we talked about how there was reports that he wasn't doing well. So, intern Mark, let's go to you. When you hear the name Howard Finkel, what comes to your mind?
Well, same thing as Tim. The anytime the Fink would announce and new insert championship title here, that was always such an exciting moment, especially way back in the early 80s And you had Hulk Hogan, and then Andre the Giant took the belt, and Randy Savage. Those were some great times.
Yeah, no doubt. And for me, and I kind of echo, what you guys, have said is that, he's the best ever, and for me, obviously, always being a WWE guy, always and forever, it was the Fink. Devin here in the chat, and if you're following with us in the live video, again, we appreciate that. Give us some thumbs up as we're going along. Give the video a share. Maybe start a watch party. That goes out to all your friends. I know I did that on my page, so that'll get more people in here with us. But Devin says when he announced the Hall of Famers at WrestleMania, that one always sticks out. But yeah, along the lines of announcing the winners of the '94 Royal Rumble, I always just liked when he started off the Royal Rumble match, and kind of explained the rules and things and that, and just. But it's a timeless voice, and over the years we've gotten some ring announcers that we have liked, some that are we have not liked as much, but to me it always goes back to the Fink, first and foremost, and I really enjoyed him. I enjoyed him on Legends House, so maybe in my quarantine state, that might be something I go back and revisit here. But yeah, just the loss of Howard Finkel, I think is it was a added negative thing that has come through in the WWE and the wrestling world, and since I guess if there's anything else to add on the Fink, I'll leave it up to you guys. And then there's obviously some elephant in the room that we obviously have to talk about.
My room's kind of small. I don't have an elephant.
Me, Tim, and Ryan were all like, "Are you talking about me?" Ryan,
what about a baby elephant?
Ryan, you muted
that
yourself.
May fit in your room,
Ryan. Oh, Ryan's listening. All right. So yesterday, it came across the oh, this is good. I've missed this. I've missed Ryan messing with me on a live show. Yesterday,
he's screaming. He's literally screaming. He can't figure it out. He can't fix it.
Ryan, do you
He's
need
upset.
to unmute you? I thought I could. There we go. Oh, he keeps
Jesus, that's all I asked for. It said I couldn't unmute myself.
He just really muted.
I had to sneeze.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Obviously, yesterday, the news coming across that WWE had a kind of a corporate meeting, and there was going to be a series of releases was the thing that we saw, and obviously it was a very it was a very dark day. I should actually pull up the full list. I mean, even though if people are here, they are probably aware of at least a good number of the individuals that were let go yesterday, and these are the superstars. They were obviously producers. There was probably numerous people in the WWE office that were let go that we are not going to be aware of. But this was yesterday. WWE has come to terms on the release of Kurt Angle, Rusev, Drake Maverick, Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, Heath Slater, Eric Young, Rowan, Sarah Logan, No Way Jose, Mike Chioda, Mike Kanellis, Maria Kanellis, EC3, Aiden English, Leo Rush, Primo, and Epico. And then I also, and I don't know if these, had been officially announced by the WWE, Deonna Purrazzo, and there was a couple more, I think, from NXT, but I
MJ Jenkins, Alexander. He's a big androgynous kid, has a different last name, JAS KIC, something like that. He was a newer kid that they had signed. And then a lot of the producers got furloughed. So all of like the Shane Helms, Davari, Finley, Billy Kidman. I'm trying to think of the other.
Was it
Pat Buck,
Pat Buck,
Lance Storm,
yeah,
but also Serena Deeb got let go.
okay,
And Ace Steele was a trainer
okay,
down in the Performance Center. He got let go. And Kendo Kashin, Japanese legend, he was in the Performance Center as well, training, and he's been let go as well. And unfortunately, Ace Steele had just quit his real job and moved to Florida.
Shit.
Bought a house, and so now that's happened for
Finley. I know
Finley, yeah,
was one as well.
Sarah Stock was one.
Yeah. So I mean, the bottom line, it was not a good day for and obviously, to everyone that was impacted by it. I mean, like Deanna Peraza, we've had her on this show numerous times. So and
I've called so many Deanna Peraza matches. It's a real shame. She'll be back around for sure.
Oh, sure.
That's
sure. And I mean for all of the people that were released, the majority of them, still have a good length of career left. There are some that are on the tail end of their career, but I think all of them at some point, and the really unfortunate thing about it, in this climate and where we're at is, we don't know when normal things are going to resume.
yeah.
So I know obviously, a lot of the things on wrestling Twitter yesterday were like, oh, well, so-and-so will just go to AEW, or so-and-so could be picked up here, or so-and-so could be picked up there. And here's the thing. They certainly could. And here's the thing, they might. I don't know what, say AEW's hiring is looking like right now. I would imagine that they're not going to jump at everybody because, they have what, last night's and the next 3 weeks already in the can. They announced, excuse me, that they're doing Double or Nothing. That it's still going to be live. They haven't announced where it's going to be from. It's not going to be from Las Vegas. So beyond that, we don't know what AEW's schedule is going to be like. You keep mimicking me, Ryan. I like that. Oh, it's a gritty. I didn't even notice you put a gritty up there. So I don't know what AEW is going to do in terms of hiring. I don't know what Impact's going to do for hiring. At some point, these people are going to land on their feet. But we obviously wish them all the best, and everybody. I mean, here's the thing. I'm anybody that's hearing our voice on this week's show is themselves or knows somebody that has either been laid off or furloughed, probably, from their job right now. I mean, when the unemployment numbers, I think that they came out today, 22 million people have applied for some sort of unemployment in the last 3 weeks. So the chances are you probably know somebody. So that's the first is to everybody who's impacted from an employment standpoint. We are thinking about you. Is there one of these releases that struck you guys as, I don't know, shocking, as this really sucks, or any type of adjective? Is there one of them that jumps out at you guys that impacts you more than another one? We'll start with you, Matt. Let's go to you, Matt.
I think in terms of the one that was most surprising to me was Zack Ryder, just because of the longevity that he had in the business. He always seemed to kind of have some sort of storyline that he could work himself into. I know for the most part, the others, while they all suck. I mean, I'm not going to say one was worse than the other, but I think for the most part, we could kind of see that they were coming for a majority of them. But I think his was the one that stuck out as just like, wow, I didn't think they would go that route. Him or Rusev.
Ryan, is there one that kind of jumped out at you? Do you need me to unmute you again? Damn it, Ryan.
I did it again.
What?
Thanks.
No problem.
Thanks.
No problem at all. Maybe if you can't unmute yourself, you probably shouldn't mute yourself. Just a thought.
You're the host this weekend Thursday.
Just thinking out loud. Is there one of these releases, Ryan, that surprised you, affected you more than another?
I just want to know if I have a cough or a sneeze, I'm lobbing that son of a bitch right at my microphone, and I hope to blow your eardrums out, Jim.
Okay.
That's what happened next.
Okay. No problem. So, I mean, is there one of them, Ryan? Do you want to answer the question?
Yeah. I'm ready to go. I personally disappointed with Zack Ryder. I know, Jim, that's one of your favorite wrestlers, so I'm disappointed for you. But
Mark, you are unmuted now.
Thank you. I muted myself too.
All right.
I know. You just need to pay attention, Jim. You're the host.
I'm sorry. This is new to me too. Okay.
New to all of us, Jim. Why are you fighting us on this?
I'm sorry. I am
I
sorry.
didn't realize I couldn't unmute myself, and I got muted.
Okay, I'm sorry. I will try to be more attentive to the muting situation, because I think Matt and Tim, you guys can control yourselves a little better because you're on a computer.
Right.
I think the issue is maybe with the phone. So I will keep an eye.
That might be it. I appreciate you guys for controlling yourselves better than me and Mark.
I will.
I
I will keep an eye.
I still love you.
Here.
I love all four of you very, very much. I will keep an eye on Mark and Ryan. I will make sure that you do not remain muted for very long.
Appreciate that.
So you were saying Zack Ryder, Ryan.
Zack Ryder, because I know the impact I think you have a Zack Ryder shirt. I know you are a big supporter of Zack Ryder. I think the OC surprised me the most, though. The Anderson and Gallows, that one was a big one, and I feel like from a defensive point of view, that's a tough one for the WWE to let go and go somewhere else.
Yeah, that one was pretty surprising, I think, just because we know that they had just signed a new deal too, and maybe that was part of it, because it was probably fairly substantial from a money standpoint.
I had heard 5 years, 70 or 700,000 a year.
Yeah, something. It was pretty hefty. Here's the thing, and the minute I saw the one about Zack Ryder, I knew that,
But your heart was forever broken. We get it.
Yeah, because here's the deal. Obviously, I've had a lot of fun poking fun at Zack Ryder over the years, and we will forever have WrestleMania 32, WrestleMania Dallas, when I almost destroyed the room that Matt's sitting in right now with my violent rage after Zack Ryder won the Intercontinental title. And I never take joy really in when somebody gets let go, even on like Pink Slip Day with the WWE. But if the day ever came where Zack Ryder got pink slipped, I would have found a way to have some tongue-in-cheek sarcastic amusement with it. I can't do that now. This, it just blows. It really does. So that one does suck. Mark, is there one that kind of surprised you or affected you or anything like that more than the others?
Well, I don't know if it affected me, but I was surprised to see the OC let go, especially after just being in WrestleMania there with AJ in that Boneyard match. I was a bit surprised.
Yeah, I guess that was the last thing that they did.
It's a surprising pick from Mark. I expected you to have a real random
Yeah.
Well,
I was really upset that Drake Maverick got let go.
I was thinking about Heath Slater. He had been with the company for so long.
That video that Drake Maverick posted is one of the most gut-wrenching things I have ever seen
in
my life. And like, I only imagine that if and when like Heath Slater makes a comment about his release, or if Zack Ryder does a video, like it might be along those lines, and maybe it'll be because they do the figures podcast together, right?
Yep.
So maybe they'll kind of
Oh,
talk
that's going to
about.
be a good one coming up.
Yeah, I don't even I've never even listened to that, and I'll probably catch like the next one. But yeah, I thought Mark, I really thought that you were gonna throw us a Mike Chioda or a Rowan when the
Oh
question
yeah,
when the question got asked.
I forgot about Rowan. Now, thanks for bringing it up.
But
Everybody
his
forgot about
spider,
Rowan.
his spider
I,
survived the cuts.
yep.
Maybe he'll be on the next Firefly Funhouse. I don't know. Maybe he'll just become one of the characters. Tim, same question to you.
I thought my two answers were going to be able to make it through until everybody started just throwing names out there. But
Epico, Primo.
my two are Drake Maverick and Heath Slater. Especially since Drake is in the Cruiserweight Championship tournament.
Yeah, still
that's already been taped.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's already come out and said he's got 3 matches.
Yeah, so
which means he was gonna
alert.
go deep in the tournament.
Yeah, that's
technically no. So the Cruiserweight tournament is a round robin tournament. So Block A fights everyone and Block B fights everyone.
Like the World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, so he's got at least 3 matches, and then just Heath, man. Heath has been, like Mark said it. He's been there for a long time, and he's like a Zack Ryder. He's always ready to step up when need be. You got to remember his run with Rhino before that and 3MB. Like, Jinder got a title and Drew got a title. So that means when this COVID-19 stuff is done and they rehire Heath Slater for champ, it's going to happen. Heath's going to come back jacked and he's going to win the belt. That's all there is to it. I'm ready for it. But I'm just really, not only for Drake Maverick's video, but the last thing that I don't know if you guys saw the last thing Heath Slater did on WWE television.
I may not have.
It's the video with him and Drew McIntyre on the bump.
Okay, no. Yeah,
So,
I usually haven't been catching the bump.
Yeah, so Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. is the bump.
And that's on like Instagram, Facebook, right?
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. It's everywhere, but it's actually really good. And the Wednesday after WrestleMania, they had Drew McIntyre on for the entirety of the episode.
Okay.
And they had him talk to different people, and one of the people was Heath Slater.
Oh, man.
And Heath was like, at the very end, he was just like, man, we love you. We're proud of you, but your mom is the most proud of you. And Drew had not recently, but recently enough, lost his mom.
Oh.
And like they shared a moment, and it was just it was nutty.
Yeah, that's tough. And for me, I all of the ones that have been mentioned, Rusev. I Ryan, are you muted or are you just okay? You're not muted. I just saw you.
I was just lipping.
Yeah,
Rusev
now you're really gonna mess me up.
Did somebody just slip ding dongs into? Okay, yes, sir.
Snap!
You slide.
Hey,
look at that.
I had the disembodied arm named. I had Arnold, my disembodied arm. He slipped me some tasty cakes for a Nintendo Switch.
Arnold.
I win. So I'll be muted, but I'm gonna crush this whole box right here for COVID-19.
There you go, man. But Rusev, and I think it falls on multiple levels. Like I loved the Bulgarian Brute Rusev. I loved Rusev Day. I even found entertainment in the Rusev Lashley saga that we had this fall to a point. And then it eventually hit a point where I was like, okay, this just has to go away. But also out of all the names that were released, and not that, they are obviously all talented. I think, like EC3 is one that was a huge miss with the WWE. But my God, how do you not strap the rocket on Rusev? I mean, like even back to WrestleMania 31,
He had the tank.
with the damn tank and the Soviet national anthem. You could have stamped out John Cena. And then even once Rusev Day, took over, like you look back over, and this is anytime somebody gets released, we've kind of looked at moments where we can be like, okay, maybe they should have done this a little bit better, or reacted to a moment. Rusev Day was a moment they should have reacted to, and they failed there. They failed multiple times with him. And so, for me, I think that's the one that kind of struck with me, because good guy, bad guy, bulky Rusev, skinnier Rusev, mustache Rusev, long hair Rusev, short hair Rusev. It didn't matter. And then also, I mean, he got let go on Rusev Day. Like, is nobody looking at that fact either?
That's tough.
So it was obviously just a rough day all around. And I posted something, to our Twitter page, because like obviously in the aftermath and kind of the way things went down, the reactions were varied. I think that the majority of people were justifiably upset, justifiably angry with the WWE. I'm not happy that that it happened. I'm never gonna, like I said, I'm never gonna take happiness or anything like that when somebody loses their dream, loses their job, anything like that. But like I posted on Twitter, like I've had fun over the years. Me probably more than anybody. I think Tim, you've kind of taken the stance like me at times as well. Kind of like if you don't like something, don't watch it. If you don't enjoy something, walk away from it. A lot of times, I say that tongue in cheek. I say that to get reaction. But yesterday I posted something to our Twitter, and I 100% meant it. Like if this is something that for people, like if this was your breaking point with the WWE, then that's fine. If you got to walk away for a little while, that's fine. Like they're at this point, like, and not just because of what happened yesterday, but just I think for me, with the climate of the world right now, like if you got to take a break from something, man, take a break. If if you want to kind of recommit to something, if you want to double down on something, that's fine. Right. But for me, this isn't the thing that's gonna break me from WWE. It's not. I know.
Of course it ain't.
Shocking, right? But like, I mean, I didn't watch Raw this week. I actually didn't watch NXT last night either.
I didn't watch AEW either. Like,
yeah, I didn't actually catch anything.
AEW had people around the ring again.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, these were the ones that were shot at QT Marshall's place, right?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's where they were, because he was in Georgia, because when
Right.
Florida got the shutdown, I guess they shifted to QT's place.
Right.
But like for me, it's it sucks. But like I feel like I need the WWE now. I feel like I need AEW now. I feel like I need entertainment where I can get it. And there's still people that are working for and wrestling for WWE, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Yeah.
That they still need to have their jobs.
Yeah. Can I, before you go on,
Sure, go ahead.
It's a good spot to drop in. So, wrestling journalist Mike Johnson just put up a report from those left behind in WWE headquarters today. So I'm reading right from pwinsider.com.
Okay.
Today was a rough day for WWE staff for a number of reasons. One, obviously, the passing of Howard Finkel, but the fallout due to yesterday's cutbacks of staff took the shock of the day. Today, they were acclimating themselves to the new normal or so, much of the company being on furlough or let go. One person felt at least 40% of the company was gone today versus yesterday, and had 4 different people mention having some form of survivor's guilt over friends or coworkers being gone while they remained. Cuts were across the board in every division. He was told that the entire live events division of WWE was shut down. So that is at least 100 people on the live event staff gone. And those who were furloughed with the company, their furlough papers date to July 1st, but there's a possibility that that is going to get extended.
Sure.
And those people that are furloughed, they don't know if or when they'll come back. And he clarified the releases. So those who were full out released from the company, the list that Big Jim mentioned, do still have a 90-day no compete clause. So they couldn't go anywhere anyways until
Till 90
July
days.
15th.
Okay.
Right.
Now, I don't know if this was addressed in his post today, but I know at least it was reported yesterday that the ones that were released did get like a severance. Like,
I'm sure there's something there. I think they're probably going to be paid out through that like 90 day.
okay.
I would guess that they're going to get something along those lines. One thing that people also probably saw too is the NXT portion of the cuts. The NXT no compete does not exist. So they are paid for 30 days. And then once that 30 days is up, they are free to work anywhere. And that's actually something that's built into the NXT contracts. That's not something that's specific to this situation. It's any sort of release.
So NXT contracts are different than main roster.
Yeah, because there's like a difference between like a developmental contract.
Okay.
And
well, that kind of makes sense because I know on the one New Day pod, I think Woods had talked about when he had first gone up, he was
double pay.
Yeah, he was double pay. Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Or like it wasn't double pay, but like he was getting, because if you're NXT, you get like trans. So like they'll cover like your car and stuff like that, where if you're main roster, you have to book that yourself.
Okay, that makes sense because like NXT is obviously, a very heavy like touring brand. Like like obviously they have the weekly show, but most of their like bread and butter is the live shows. But yeah, I mean, and the unfortunate thing about it is it's just the nature of everything going on right now. And it's there's no live shows with audience. There's no house shows. I'm sure the merchandise has taken a hit as well. Like it's just it's a shitty thing. There's no there's no good way to handle it. The unfortunate thing is that other companies at some point are likely, I mean, in terms of the length of the duration of what is going on, we don't know how long this is going to last. I mean, I know today, I guess there's hope that we're going to start to reopen the economy in May. The state of New York, the New York City, no, I guess the state of New York, their stay-at-home orders are in place now through
May 15th.
May 15th. So the nature of this beast is we don't know, and if we have to be honest, and I don't think it's necessary, it's a pessimistic take. I think it's a more realistic take. Is live shows with crowds are probably going to be one of the last things that return. So it's that's a lot of revenue for companies that do live shows. So it's going to be something that is going to have to be watched both from the WWE and probably from other companies as well. Depending how long this thing goes. And I'll kind of leave it open ended. When as the news started going out, like what was your guys' reactions? Like, was it a middle finger to Vince? Was it was it sadness? Was it like where did you guys, as the news started to come out yesterday, Tim?
Unfortunately for these sorts of things, I look at it as like I love to separate myself from being a fan and being like I like having that third person 500-yard view of certain things. And while there's reports that WWE has like a nest egg of $500 million that they have sitting around for times like this.
Oh, you mean the Meltzer number that he kept throwing out?
The $500 million number that kept getting thrown out that WWE could have tapped into. And the fact that there's a good possibility that these cuts may not necessarily be related to COVID-19, but are more related to the XFL failure, since it was announced that WWE was a part owner of the XFL, and not just Vince McMahon. I mean, as a business, I understand. Like this time last year, my company basically shut down an entire office. It was my office. They shut down our office, and there was 3 types of employees. There was those that were, hey, you're going to still have a job. You'll be working remotely with us. You're still a part of the team. There was the group that was like, you'll be around for 90 days, but after that, you're gone. And then there was people who were sent out of the door immediately. And the first question that came into everybody's mind was, is this it? Like, is there more? Is the company going to take more hits? And the answer is no, we're done. Until we're not done. Like, and that's companies everywhere.
Right.
Disney, the same day that Vince McMahon let go of all, or WWE let go of all their people, Disney cut like, what was it, 73,000 people?
Yeah, something like that.
So they basically fired the entire attendance of a modern era WrestleMania, Disney.
Right.
Just 73,000 people without jobs.
Yeah, and I mean, they, obviously, they are a company that, amusement parks have been shut down.
Yeah.
There's ones nothing that were open, ones that are set to open are not opening. Mark, I know that your Hershey Park opening day has been bumped back, considerably.
Mark, how are you with that, Mark?
I'll tell you what, I'm so angry I could spit nails. That's how angry I am. I'm trying not to think about it.
Knoebels, a park that that I know, I enjoy going to. Ryan, you enjoy going to. They don't know when they're going to open this year, because like with them being shut down, they stopped preparations for the year. So Disney had already had all of their employees were like furloughed or whatever.
Not just the parks for Disney too, but like movie production is at a standstill as well, which is a huge bulk of anything that they're bringing in. So aside from like Disney Plus, that's kind of like keeping them afloat right now. Cruise line shut down. Like the majority of Disney is kind of in the same boat as WWE. Like, what can we do right now?
Yeah.
But
So
rely
it's really
on our network.
it's really everything Jim loves: cruises and roller coasters, and so that's really
But
everything that's shut down.
but you have to think the thing that Jim loves most of all bridges are still open.
Oh, I love the bridges. Bridges are just the best. Yeah, and I mean in terms of even like TV production, like last night was the season finales of the Chicago shows, like Chicago Wednesdays, but those weren't supposed to be the last episodes of the season. But when everything shut down, they're like, well, they kind of made chicken salad out of chicken shit. So,
Right.
yeah, it's and for me, and I was talking about it with my wife last night when we were going for a walk. Is like, yes, could some of the releases have been avoided? Probably. Could some of those releases have happened long before yesterday? Probably. I mean, how long has guys like EC3 and Primo and Epico, and some others kind of just been sitting around not doing anything on a weekly or monthly basis?
Who even knew Kurt Angle was still under contract?
Well, I thought he was under like a legend. I thought he was just under a Legends deal. I didn't realize he was like under a producer role or anything.
He'd been a producer for a couple of months now.
Yeah. So
Jim knew.
the unfortunate and it's this isn't a WWE issue right now. It's a everybody issue. Does it look a little worse when some of the people had like traveled to Florida to perform like either this week or last week and then this happens? Yeah. But I think one of the things, and then Matt and Mark, and Ryan, will get to your thoughts as well, is like, a lot of people are like, why were these people, why were these guys still, going to bat for this company and this and that? And it's like, because that's what you do. Like if I have a job, I'm going to do the job until I'm told I'm not allowed to do the job anymore, or I don't work for the company anymore. So I think what it does is it shows the character of the people that were still, making the choice to put their lives at risk, because, and obviously there are those that haven't, and like the biggest one is Roman Reigns, and congratulations, Roman Reigns, him and his wife pregnant with twins again. So, that definitely probably weighed into his decision to, shut it down, because the last thing you want to do is be traveling and putting yourself at risk. A, when you're compromised immune system, and B, when your wife is pregnant. So, it's it just, it sucks, but that's I think why those guys had and girls had continued to work. Matt, Ryan, Mark, any thoughts? Whoever wants to go next.
Yeah, my initial thought when it happened, and I was talking to my wife about it yesterday, was typically when Pink Slip Day happens, you just kind of know that whoever gets released has a few months, if not longer, where they can just coast on the indie scene, get that check. Like Adam Rose, how long was he on the indie scene after his release? Just like guaranteed he's going to get appearances. It's not the case anymore. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Is just, it's unfortunate because they get released and they know there's no live shows that they can just kind of keep getting the money coming in to just kind of support their families for this time being. There's so much uncertainty at this point. So that was the first thing I thought of, was just these guys don't have that fallback plan anymore. And it really sucks, because that's what we took advantage of too as fans, of like, oh, hey, X person got released, we'll probably get to see them relatively soon on the indie scene, get to meet them, get to chat with them a little bit. And that's just not the case anymore for us. So it sucks more for them, obviously, but for us as fans, we don't have that opportunity now to just kind of meet people that we were really enjoying what they were doing at the pro level.
Yeah, Tim, the guy that runs the Icons Festival, had said, we're looking to try to get some of these newly released talents as soon as we can, but we don't know when that's going to be. But they're going to try to do some like autograph signings and stuff like that as a way to support these guys and girls that that just lost their job. But I mean, ultimately, that this is happening all over the United States because these guys are celebrities and famous. It's further reaching, but these cuts and furloughs and releases have been happening nationwide. So it sucks because they're people we know, they're people we invite into our house, every Monday and Wednesday night. But ultimately, it's a sign of the times that we're in right now. It sucks real bad for the WWE that this came on the heels of the XFL release. That makes it a little suspect, and people are going to town on Vince McMahon about that. Deadspin put an article up. I think it was titled "Vince McMahon retains title as the world's largest douche." So, Vince is going to have to take it on the chin, but it is what it is.
I wouldn't necessarily go far as the world's biggest, but it's not been a good.
The world's largest. My apologies.
World's largest.
Largest.
Yeah, I mean, let's hit on the XFL thing, because I know we kind of put out a ask us anything sort of a thing, and Nick had asked specifically for me, but we'll open it up here. He said, XFL filed for bankruptcy. Paper shows that Vince put 25% of WWE money into it when he said he was using his own money and would always be separate. Now is trying to sell a defunct business in a time where nothing is normal. He said this on top of the securities class action filed against Vince and WWE because they may be hiding information, and he forced Florida to say he's an essential business, putting his workers at risk because in his their television contracts he can only do 5 tape shows a year. So the question is, how can anyone trust Vince as a business person, and how much trouble is he and WWE in as a whole financially? In terms of the XFL failing, I mean, I think for the first couple seasons, they were probably going to operate on some degree of loss. But I still think that if this doesn't happen, if this pandemic doesn't happen, I think the XFL could have been and maybe would have been successful to a degree. I think some of the things they were doing were really resonating with sports fans and with the sports media. But this was a thing that a new league could not have recovered from. And that is super unfortunate in terms of Vince putting 25% of the business, tying it in with WWE, and saying that it was not going to happen. I don't, maybe this is just how I am, but I didn't believe that for a second. I just figured from the beginning that, that at least to some degree, now 25% seemed pretty high maybe, but I figured to some degree the WWE was going to, keep that thing going. Maybe that's just how I am. And to the other part of Nick's question, in terms of some of the other legal and financial ramifications, I don't know exactly what condition the WWE financials are going to be in. I don't know what condition any wrestling company or sports league or live entertainment business, you're talking Broadway, you're talking anything, like even things like like an American Music Theater down in Lancaster. I don't know what the financial situation is going to be for any of these companies, because number one, I'm not a financial expert, and number two, we don't know how long this thing's going to go. But in terms of being able to trust Vince as a business person, and not that it makes it pretty or anything like that, but this isn't the first inkling that Vince McMahon is a dirty businessman. Like the Saudi Arabia deal, the episode of Dark Side of the Ring that aired this week was about him basically covering up a murder. The Owen Hart situation. There's countless other situations over the history of our lifetime, and probably even longer, of Vince McMahon not being a nice guy in the business world. And not to throw cliches out there, but that's kind of corporate America. That's business. And kind of one of the things I've always said is that's where you kind of have to make your decision of what you're going to be okay with and what you're not. No different than if you're using an iPhone and how, the conditions in which some of those parts of that iPhone were put together, or, if you wear Nike sneakers or any number, any countless other thing where there's been questionable business practices. It's up to the consumer to make a choice if they are going to, support and trust and whatever, from that company. So people are still going to do business with Vince McMahon. And when this, if and when we come on the other side of this whole situation, I really think the WWE, is going to continue, how successful, how big, maybe we'll go back to, Manhattan ballroom theater shows for Monday Night Raw. I don't know. I don't know the ramifications. I don't know if they're going to be able to run the big arenas. I don't know. But also, and I'll finally get off my my long-winded response, is if the WWE fails, that's a very bad indicator for the rest of the wrestling business. And whether we like it or not, whether we're happy about it or not, whether you like Vince, whether you hate Vince, none of that matter. If the WWE is done, if this is the death blow, if this 1 month period is the trigger point that the WWE falls off the cliff, it's going to be a lot further reaching to the wrestling business than I think anybody really understands. Whoever wants to jump in any form of responses to any of the questions or anything, feel free. I definitely did get winded.
Man, I think you have to look at this from a point of view of being a stockholder and a shareholder of a company, and that's where my issue would lie. If I was owning stock in the WWE, and I was told that we're not going to have any part of this other business operation, to find out that my money that I've invested in the World Wrestling Entertainment is being used to go somewhere else, that's a concern for me for sure. The stock was up a little bit today, sharing at 39.67. So maybe what do I know about shitty business practices? But I think that's what I would have an issue with, is that you're using my money somewhere that I was told it's not going to be used.
Yeah, it closed 0.8 in the plus today, which is a 2.08% increase today. Its lowest point today was 39. But if you look over the month, it's been all over the place. The lowest point was back March 17th when it was down at 32. So it's gained 7 points in the last month.
The 52-week high on that's over 100, which is bonkers to think. And I get it's a live entertainment industry, but yeah, that's my beef with it. I don't think it's a surprise that Vince McMahon is a businessman at all. I think that is corporate America, and there's going to be shit, like you said, everywhere that you're just not going to love. But personally, if I invested in the WWE, I'd have some questions that I would want answered as to why my money was being used where I was told it wasn't.
Yeah, that's a fair a fair thing to call to. I'm actually going to lean a little bit differently. I think that if the WWE takes a large hit from this, I don't think it's going to ripple the same way that it would have previously for other smaller promotions.
Okay.
Just like with everything, there is a season for harvest and there is a season for planting. And WWE has been in the harvest season. They've been reaping the benefits
Sure.
for the last 10 years. Our economy was really, really good for a long period of time before we had any sort of recession.
Right.
It's unfortunate that it came on the heels of COVID-19, but it happened. But the entire wrestling ecosystem, I feel, is better insulated than it was the last time that wrestling was lower or was on a downturn in the early mid 2000s.
Okay.
More wrestling
I would agree with
promotions,
that.
more wrestling promotions have online footprints that are not necessarily as big as WWE, but on par. Like Smart Mark Video and Independent Wrestling.tv are combined, and there are so many indie promotions right now that are getting their stuff put out on a large network. I mean, Independent Wrestling.tv this year has put out more hours of original content than the WWE network. And that's across all independents. So the indies are going to be, I think the indies, because also the amount of money you're talking about for these indies is different than with WWE. So if WWE takes a big hit, it's going to take a lot more capital to come back into the WWE to get them to the point where they were, as opposed to, say, a promotion like Beyond, who runs in kind of a small venue, but they do really solid numbers. And they're probably going to do even more numbers once the general assembly or public assemblies come back, because every diehard Beyond fan and every diehard indie fan out there, I this is my plead for like wrestling fans in general. Three Count Thursday is a huge proponent of indie wrestling.
Absolutely.
If you don't know where an independent promotion is in your area, especially when the smoke is cleared and the dust is settled and we're able to go back to doing whatever we want, whenever we want, wherever we want, go and support your local indie. Be at that first show back wherever the venue is, whether it's in the Stevens Fire Hall or whether it's at Club Reverb or whether it's down at the 2300 in Philly or if it's at the Chikara Wrestle Factory or if it's some promotion on the West Coast or wherever you're listening. Like, go, be a part of it and help re-stimulate these companies that are literally doing nothing right now.
Right.
Like the WWE can make content off of their old content forever. If you're fortunate enough and you're still able to work, now's the time to go to Pro Wrestling Tees. Now's the time to hit up your favorite independent professional wrestler and be like, hey man, how much for a shirt? Like, it's one thing to support somebody when they're at their hottest and everything's going great.
Yeah.
Now is the time where the rubber's meeting the road, and like they may not need it. I know there's a couple of independent professional wrestlers who on their social media, they don't like to promote their merch because they feel like it's a shill. They feel like if you want to buy their shirt, you'll see them out in a venue. You'll be able to hit them up and you'll exchange some cash. They don't want to continually post on their Facebook that, hey, I have a Pro Wrestling Tees store. I've only got a couple of designs, but go help me out. Like, it's different. but now is the time to support. And it's not just wrestlers too. It's any sort of content creator, whether it's, I mean, it's a cheap plug for us. We have a Patreon. Your other favorite podcasts out there have Patreons. Like, support. We talked about it earlier, where it's if it's not for you, don't watch.
Right.
We need to get back to a point where we're not cutting down. Like, stop cutting down what somebody else really loves. Promote what you love and let them promote what they love. Nothing is stupid. It's just not for you. So
Sure, yeah.
Take this time to really invest in what you want to invest in. And if you're a WWE fan, invest in WWE.
Sure.
Buy merch. Keep your WWE Network subscription. If you love the indies, IWTV.live, $10 a month, all the independent wrestling you can think of, and they're still putting out content because these indies are also doing empty arena shows, and they're putting them up, and they have a backlog catalog too of a lot of great indie promotions. AIW out in the Midwest, out in Ohio, they're putting out a lot of new stuff for them. CZW, Game Changer, all the big indies from the East Coast and the Midwest are all getting put up on independentwrestling.tv on a regular basis.
Yeah. So,
There's
yeah,
stuff to watch. There's stuff to
check
enjoy.
it out. Like,
Go do it.
yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing like I've always said too, like, as part of that, like, caveat to, like, if you don't like it, there's other options out there, and there's more options out there today than ever before. So Matt or intern Mark, if you have anything to add on this kind of topic.
My main thing in regards to the questions that were asked disregarding the whole XFL thing, I mean, when I saw the XFL declared bankruptcy, I kind of knew that there would be cuts coming. Like, Vince has to recoup. It happens, and it's not ideal, and it certainly sucks for everyone, but with an understanding of what's going on in the business world, these tough decisions have to be made. I think where Vince kind of stands out in regards to other owners or, big name owners that we know of, like the Mark Cubans, the Crafts of the world, is that Vince really doesn't ever seem to give a shit of the public opinion. He knows that he has a product that enough people will buy into, that he can kind of play that card either way he wants to. So him making those decisions, I mean, whether or not he lined the pockets of Trump, I'm not going to get into, but that was always kind of my understanding, is that they just kind of had that wink, wink, nudge, nudge kind of deal. Like, hey, I'm going to need a favor from you at some point. Do me a solid. So I don't think any of it is surprising. You cannot like Vince as much as you want. I'm not a big fan of him personally, but I still enjoy the product he's putting out. So I'll still watch it. I think he's just a little more immune to, like, the fan pushback than a lot of the other owners that we see, who can kind of cater to the public opinion, whereas he just has people in place for him that will play like the mediator, and he's always just going to be that heel in real life and on TV.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing: like, they did donate to the Trump campaign. If you've been paying attention for the last 4+ years, the McMahon family are Trump supporters. So it shouldn't come as much of a surprise, I think, to a lot of people that they did donate. Now, is that a McMahon family contribution, or is that a WWE contribution? Are the lines between those two things blurred? We probably won't ever know. From a business standpoint, like, I know it's something like, like Ryan brought up, I doubt that the WWE cut a check to the Trump campaign. I'll say that. I don't know the full details on the situation, but I'm willing to bet that it wasn't like a check and a letterhead from WWE. I think it was probably a McMahon, Vince and Linda contribution. And here's the thing. I'm not a Trump guy. So this isn't me like trying to play the what if card or whatever. If this was a contribution to the Joe Biden campaign or a Bernie Sanders campaign or something like that, do I think people would have reacted to that donation maybe a little bit differently? I absolutely do. That's the climate we're in. Again, I say right, wrong, or indifferent a lot, but if it's a different campaign that's getting the McMahon money, I think people feel differently about it as well. And that's his thing. Nick had another question, and it's kind of relating to this stuff. And then I know we have two questions that are not in this negative, kind of this negative like black cloud situation that we can kind of start to work out of. Nick asked, since the governor of Florida says WWE is essential business, does that mean that AEW, based in Jacksonville, can do the same? Because if not, then it is political to the extreme. Linda McMahon connections to the POTUS. I believe that the state of Florida declared sports as an essential business. I believe that was something that that the governor had kind of declared the other day. I don't know the full details on that because I'm not a citizen of the state of Florida, but like my understanding was sports was considered essential. And also, I mean, if the, TV, people in the media, if that was kind of the exception, I think Tony Khan and company could probably use that loophole as well. But again, right now they don't have to because they have multiple weeks of programming in the can. So they wouldn't have to make that decision until, early to mid-May. And, by that point, maybe they'll film stuff at the Hardy compound. Maybe they'll film more stuff at QT Marshall's compound, or they'll find somewhere else to do it. I don't know. But they have
place.
Yeah, so that they have weeks in the can, that they have weeks to make the decision. They weren't in the same boat as the WWE. Now, here's the thing. I will say this as well. I think the WWE's decision to do live shows kind of sucks. I don't know the inner workings of how the TV contracts work, and if it did come down to, hey, you can only do so many tape shows a year. I would think and hope that Fox and USA would make some sort of a they would have a little bit of leeway given everything that's going on. But again, I don't know how that stuff works, and both of those companies just invested a lot of money into the WWE, so and their programming. So maybe it was a situation of the networks are going, you're going live.
Well, there was talks that the networks, both USA and Fox, were looking to renegotiate the contracts for less money now because
if they were going to do taped.
Yeah, due to everything that's going on, because they're not getting what they agreed upon. Unfortunately,
yes.
that's another facet that has to be taken into account with the recent releases. Like right. we don't
from a $1 billion contract to
$2 billion contracts to what? Like, what is it now? Yeah, it's a lot of money. But at the same time too, like we don't know the nuts and the bolts of it. Right. Like we don't, unfortunately, we're not in the weeds. We don't.
Right. And like, that's the thing is, I'm not a financial guy. I'm not in that field. I'm not in a legal field. So I think it's easy And then here's the thing: over the 6 years we've been doing this show, there's definitely been things that, hills that I've died on that I didn't fully understand what I was dying on. So this isn't a me like pointing fingers at people and telling them they're like bad and wrong or what have you. This is just something that, like, with everything going on, I don't think all of us truly understand how businesses and money within businesses and all of that. And I'm pointing at you, Dave Meltzer. We don't know how all of those things work, and what money is in hand, what money can be used where, the legality of shifting money around to, can you use the money from this to pay that, from, is this cash here? Can we put it in contract? We don't know. That's the thing, is we don't know. So it's again, it's a crappy it's a crappy situation. But like I said, in a couple of weeks we're going to see what AEW does, because and I think 3 more weeks they have shows that are taped, and we'll see where they fall on the other side. We had a question.
Maybe they'll beat NXT one of those 3 weeks. Who the hell knows?
Right, and that's I wasn't gonna say it.
I'll say I don't give a shit.
Because last week and this week. Now, if there was ever a week where you would think that, like, the floor would have just been pulled out from under the NXT viewership, theoretically it should have been last night, right?
They had a big title match last night.
Like, last time I checked, the WWE still owns NXT, correct? That hasn't changed?
That AEW show was Mox versus Hager in a no-holds-barred match, and that couldn't get the job done.
Yeah.
On top of whatever we want to, Black Wednesday, is that what we're going to call it yesterday?
Sure.
On top of that, NXT still churned out a better rating.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, ratings matter because that's what Fox, that's what USA's looking at.
Right. And that's the only thing that is doing anything right now. But yeah, it's I guess, and I think AEW still won the demo, was still higher in the key demo, but NXT had higher overall views. So less people forget, that's still WWE. Now, Jason,
real quick, before we get out of this,
sure.
A lot of states are going to the masks for essential workers. So are we going to see masked WWE superstars if they're essential workers in the state of Florida? I don't know Florida law yet, but I know Pennsylvania just passed that law. If you're going out and you're an essential worker, you got to wear a mask. So I'm curious if I know Miami has that on the books. I'm not sure if the entire state of Florida does or not.
Does do lucha masks count?
I think if the grill's covered, sure.
If they're designed properly, they probably could.
So maybe we're all gonna be living in a lucha world.
Conquistador 1, 2 through 7 and 8.
Or the considerably. That's a good point. I mean, yeah, I don't know if that's a statewide thing in Florida. That's definitely a interesting wrinkle.
I'll have to look it up.
We'll like people that are working in TV, like in PA, like, if now obviously if they're remote broadcasting, but if they're like at the studio or if they're out on a remote shoot, like, is Shannon Murphy gonna have to wear her mask on air, like, or WGAL, are they?
There's a few others that should be wearing a mask on WGAL.
Oh, Mark.
I'm sorry.
How about it?
Mark, you want to go with a name? Let's drop a name, Mark. Number one name.
Well, I don't want to.
Go ahead.
Just do it.
Be that guy.
Barbara Barr.
Did anybody see Ed Weinstock's mask?
No, I didn't.
You need to check it out. You go out of your way, as they say, and find Ed Weinstock with his mask. It's fantastic.
Tell you what,
wait to see it.
Ryan, look that up and throw that up on the Patreon. Patreon.com/3Count Thursday.
Why do I have to look it up? I didn't even bring it up. Make Mark do it.
He doesn't look. It was hard enough getting him on a Zoom call. Let's not.
It was tough.
Ryan, the host has spoken.
Yeah, I'm still the host, even though you're not sitting here to my right. I am still the host. And put it up there for free. Let's be generous today. Let's
I'll
put it
look
up
it
there
up.
for free.
Let's find a picture, please. I'd love to see it again.
I'll look it up.
We did get some form of a pre-show, post-show that I'll put up as well after we go off the air tonight. So if you go to patreon.com, now you are going to have to pay for that one. The $2, a measly, meager $2. Patreon.com/3Count Thursday.
A mere 0.003% of your stimulus check.
Yes. You can get our pre-show, post-show content.
We know you all got the money. We know you got it.
Did everybody get theirs?
That sweet, sweet Trump money.
We have not gotten ours yet.
You have not been stimulated yet?
I have, dude. I haven't gotten stimulated.
I got stimulated yesterday morning.
Jim with the humble brag that he doesn't qualify for the stimulus check.
Apparently.
Uh-huh.
Look, I know these flags in the background are fancy and all, but let's not start to believe that Big Jim is.
I'm a little disappointed I didn't get the money for my daughter. Like that was kind of the whole point of having the kid was
right.
Anyway, you're supposed to benefit from that. And we don't even we do direct deposit with our taxes and everything. So it's not like we got to wait for the actual paper check in the mail if that ever happens. But hoping that'll drop ski in for us here in the next day or two. Let's jump into. We have two more Ask 3CT questions, and Jason asks us, how many lows could Rob Lowe rob if Rob Lowe could rob lows?
I actually know the answer to this.
Do you?
Next.
42.
42. Well, there we go. I actually didn't know. I didn't know the answer.
You're welcome.
To that one. So there you go, Jason. And then Devin asks us, what is your guys' favorite Attitude Era pay-per-view? Oh, yes. So he has two questions. We'll start with this one. What is your guys' favorite Attitude Era pay-per-view?
It's an easy answer, but WrestleMania X7.
Okay. How about we do?
Not WrestleManias.
Not WrestleManias. Let's do not WrestleManias. What are the date parameters on the
Attitude Era starts King of the Ring 96, so Austin 316 until I think it's pretty much until I think WrestleMania X7 because that's the
per Wikipedia, the company ceased its Attitude promotion on May 6, 2002, when usage of the initials WWF, which were prominent within the logo, became prohibited as a result of the legal battle between the company and the World Wildlife Fund.
That means
no.
My pick falls within those parameters. Don't fuck this up for me, Tim.
Well, no, that's whatever Wikipedia just said was wrong because remember, Vince McMahon had this glorious idea that WWE needed to have a new vision.
Yeah. You watched
ruthless aggression. We just had to find something and just take it. And we get the F out.
Oh, God damn it, Ryan.
Smoky.
All right, there you go.
I did it. I had to go take a piss, and then you said there was only two questions left. The Rob Lowe one was quick, so I'm like, I'll just hold on.
All right. So yeah, okay. So Attitude Era leading between from 2000 up to 2002. So
right, I'm gonna go Royal Rumble 97. That was the first Stone Cold Rumble in Texas.
Oh man, that was a good one. That was a good one.
I need to look it up. I had no clue off the top of my head. No clue.
Just make one up, Ryan.
One Night Stand, ECW. Fuck, I don't know.
All right, there you go.
Oh, that was good.
Matt, do you have one in mind?
Survivor Series 98.
Okay.
Deadly game.
Yep.
In turn, Mark, do you have one off the top of your head?
I'm thinking Was the King of the Ring with the Hell in the Cell with Mick Foley Undertaker? Was that 95 or 96?
98.
That was 98.
Are you serious? It was that late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was that late. Yeah.
98.
That is
Well, I
kind of
got-
surprising that it's that late into the Attitude Era.
I really thought that was at the beginning of the Attitude Era.
No, the
The
Undertaker,
Foley and Taker.
the
It was
Foley,
June '98.
yeah, the Taker Mankind feud had already come and gone. It was like the Hell in a Cell was kind of like a one-off.
Yeah, that King of the Ring that had that was the Undertaker Foley when Foley went off the top of the cage. And wasn't that also Kurt Angle and Shane?
No, Kurt didn't come around until 99.
Yeah.
That was King of the Ring 2001, I think, with him and Shane.
I think so.
But
Really?
1990,
Yeah, I'm looking at
1998 King of the Ring, that was the Billy Gunn King of the Ring.
Oh,
If I'm right, King Ass.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
98.
I'm
98.
gonna. I'm going with. I'm going with King of the Ring. 2001. Yeah, that was the Shane McMahon, the Kurt Angle Shane McMahon, the
You
million.
would say that. There's
That
no
was the
fucking reason
Edge.
that would be your favorite one.
Yeah, that was the Edge King of the Ring.
Yeah, Edge King of the Ring. You had Austin winning the title match over Benoit and Jericho. But yeah, I like that one.
What was
With
that Austin and Kane, the first blood match? That was really good. That was a King of the Ring too, wasn't it?
King of the Ring 98.
That was really
sounds
good.
like Mark's is King of the Ring 98. It was
Yeah,
what I'm-
I'll
that's
just,
what I'm
yeah,
that's what I'm hearing.
I'll hang on King of the Ring 98.
There we go. And then his other question, Devin says his is Royal Rumble 2000. Christy says, glad you all are staying safe. Take care. Yeah, take care to you as well.
Thank you for stopping by.
Charlie said, would Mind Games count? When was Mind Games?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mind Games would count.
Mind Games in your house. Mind Games was September 96.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Is that would that be considered Attitude?
Yeah, because
Oh, I would think so.
Austin 316 was June.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I would
I mean, wasn't there one of the WWE 2Ks that had the Attitude Era storyline, and it started well before that too?
That's true.
According
Yeah,
to
I'm actually going to change mine then. I'm going to go with Survivor Series 96 with Brett and Austin. That was
That was real good.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
That's definitely one of the storylines you play through in that game. So,
yeah.
Right.
and you would say that.
Well, I couldn't stick with one where Shane McMahon lost. Like,
right.
I couldn't do myself a disservice. And then his other part of the question, what are your guys' favorite Disney princess? I'll leave the floor to Matt on that one.
No,
first.
I'm going last.
Oh, you're going last?
I'm going to let you fill that out first.
Who exactly are all the Disney princesses?
Literally any female in a Disney film. That includes
Snow White's a princess.
Nala,
It's
Mulan.
it's not any female. Get out of here with that.
I would say I don't think it's any of them.
Anyone that's not a heel, maybe.
Well, obviously, Ursula is not going to be claimed as a Disney princess.
Well,
I'll,
Deville,
I'll go Jasmine. I'll go
Simba,
He is
Simba.
a boy.
girl
Simba's not a
Simba, Nala.
princess.
Nala.
Are we allowed to assign genders?
I believe that Simba
Under
identifies
2020
as
we
a
can't.
boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say what does he what does Simba identify as? But I'll go with Jasmine.
I'm going Belle.
Okay. Ryan,
Oh no, go to Mark next.
Smokey.
intern Mark, what do you got?
All right, yeah, I'm all in with Jasmine.
Okay.
Shit, that didn't take long enough.
Yeah, Jasmine's the
Man,
best.
I'm trying to
Did
think.
they not cover any Disney movies and not another teen movie, Ryan? You not know any?
A single one of them.
Number one, you
I
got
don't know the
Aurora, you got the Little Mermaid.
I almost because like as I've been working through like going through stuff in my basement, I brought a little TV and a old school DVD player down here, and I looked at Not Another Teen Movie, and I did not watch it, Ryan. Matt, I went with Dirty Work instead.
That's the solid choice.
Yeah, Dirty Work. So I forgot how funny
It really
that
is.
movie really. Every time I watch it, I'm like, damn it, I forgot how funny this movie is.
So unappreciated.
So if you have never seen Dirty Work, please do. You have time. I'm telling you,
Directed by Bob Saget, starring Norm Macdonald, Nardi Lang.
so good.
Clutch.
Don Rickles was in there.
Yep.
Don Rickles, brilliant in that movie.
Christopher McDonald, who later or earlier, played Shooter McGavin in Happy Gilmore. So.
Yes. And that poor dog. So
Ryan, we're eating up a ton of time. You better have
Your answer, sir.
Ryan,
Yeah.
favorite Disney princess?
I will go with
Pinocchio.
Elle from Beauty and the Beast.
There you go.
Now I
That's
feel like I
one
have,
of
to
the
change,
Disney movies.
I have to change my answer because
I didn't change mine. Mark agreed with me. But hey, if you have the right answer, other people are going to have the right answer.
That is correct.
Like if you ask, what color is the sky, most people are going to say blue. So,
That's
Matt,
just one of the Disney movies that I know I've watched. I can't think of many movies I've watched that are Disney movies.
What about like Cinderella? There's a
Never saw
princess.
There you go. She's a good one.
Never saw it.
Have you
never saw
actually
Cinderella?
seen Beauty and the
that
Beast?
clumsy girl that lost her shoe. Yeah,
Sounds
right.
stupid. I don't need to watch that shit.
I think she was drunk.
Wait, was Topanga a Disney princess?
No,
Okay, because I would have said
She's on-
Topanga.
Princess
Oh,
Leia
the Disney
is.
Channel.
Princess, Ryan has not seen Star Wars, so
That's also
He
true.
doesn't like it, I thought.
no,
What now?
he's never seen it.
Oh, he doesn't like it.
I probably not watched more than 30 minutes of my entire life of the Star Wars movies.
Even Devin knows he likes dirty work. Matt, we'll go to you, the Disney expert, for your favorite Disney.
I'm glad this question was asked. There's basically 3 schools of thought here. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, right. There you go.
It's going to be Rapunzel from Tangled.
There we go. That's solid.
Rapunzel.
I was gonna hit
That's
you
the
with
one
the
that had long
Jeopardy.
hair.
I was gonna hit you with the Jeopardy timeout, but I can't find it.
Toot, toot, toot.
Oh, there we go. All right. I didn't even have an agenda. Like, full disclosure. Like, I don't know what day it is most days.
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
I did know today was Thursday because we did.
I like that Matt keeps holding up drinks.
Yeah, well done. I only have water. I only had a water down here.
It took me a while to get through the second beer that I held up to the screen, so I don't remember the name of it, but I will share that in the Patreon. So if you want to know what beer to avoid, you'll have to pay the $2 to get that information. But this information is free. Sip of Sunshine, fantastic.
There we go.
See, Ryan's got the Windex and the
Look at that. He's being
Vaseline
safe.
over there.
Ryan, do you still have your smoky doll?
I do. Do you want it?
Yeah, can you pass it over here?
I think I got to go this direction. Are you ready?
All right, I'm ready. We have.
Did you get it?
I got him.
What?
I got him right here.
Wait,
It's
how did
smoky.
that? You guys aren't in the same place, are you?
Ryan, can you
No,
actually
we
name that?
social
that
distance,
gritty
man. It's
figure?
fine. Mark, that's
Here,
a
you want-
mute you have there. I love it.
Thank you. It's. Let me hand it back to you.
Yeah.
Should I go this way?
I think that's
I
the
can't tell
direction we
where
got to
you're
go. Yeah.
You got it. Don't
You got
drop
to reach
it.
a little more. Reach a little more.
Don't drop it.
Stretch it, Mark. Stretch it.
Yeah, we got you. We're good.
You got it. All right.
Unbelievable. How did
Ryan,
you guys aren't in the
That's
same
smoky.
place? You
Ryan,
guys
can you hand
promised
the gritty
me.
figure, please?
What do you need?
The gritty figure. Can you hand that to me?
Yeah. Which way do I have to go?
Just drop it down. I'll grab up. How's that sound?
Just drop you down.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it back in the box though for you.
What?
Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
gosh.
Like, this is absolutely blowing my mind.
It's like magic.
That was my brain right there. Just go.
I gotta go. I gotta
Oh.
this.
Just
There's voodoo going on. I'm sealing everything up. I
Matt,
gotta-
throw him back up to me real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Ready? Unbox it
Yep.
though.
No, leave it boxed up, man. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah.
What
Hey,
the?
there it is.
This is unbelievable.
Got you taken care of. That's magic, folks.
That is the magic, buddy. Hi, buddy. Buddy, I miss you.
But
Ryan, I heard you had a good joke too regarding Smokey the Bear.
No, that's on the pre-show, post-show, man.
No, it's not.
No, it's
it
not.
didn't make the cut.
It's
It
definitely
did make
not.
the cut.
No, it didn't make the cut. So you should.
Well,
Bare feet.
All right.
What was that?
Let me find him here. Oh, Jim, by the way, you left this here last time you were at my house, man.
Oh,
Left
I've been looking for that.
this here, dude.
Damn
I'm
it.
pretty pissed about it. I have it. You come get it.
I mean, well, we'll have to do it once once our lockdown's
What
over.
are you doing? Where we're wearing that anyway?
Can you watch that, please?
Well, I mean, I think the more important question is why did I take it off? I think that's
I don't know.
It's his only pair. Why did it leave his body?
right. That's the more important question.
Jim,
Matt,
I guess the question is why does Smokey the Bear not wear shoes?
why doesn't he wear shoes?
What?
Mark, why wouldn't he wear shoes?
Well, if he did wear shoes, he wouldn't because he still has bare feet.
Oh,
It's
Bare
a Smokey
feet.
the Bear joke.
Smokey.
Matt, there's a question. There's a question to you. Have you found the Stone Cold IPA? Now, we had some connections. I think I had gotten you a couple of cans of it, but have you been able to narrow it down since then?
Since then, no. The only time I've gotten it was when you were able to find that connection. So I did still save the other can. I have like a line in the back of my beer fridge that's just untouched beers that I'm saving for the nostalgia purposes, and that's going to be one of them.
Very nice. Yeah, I drank one. In fact, I actually still have the can here on the table. I figured it was safe to go into Ryan's area because it has been over a month. So I think all any potential germs.
I ain't that dirty, you prick.
I think any potential germs would have already been dead by now. So I still have one in my fridge that I will probably crack into at some point. I actually haven't had any alcohol through the quarantine, which probably sounds really surprising.
Impressive.
Because I think a lot of people have drank more than normal. So, but at some point, I'm probably gonna crack. And Ryan, I think even you even had an adult beverage. I think was it last week when we were recording?
No, I didn't.
No, I thought you had claimed to. So are you just
No, the last time I had a drink was probably January sometime. When was the last time I had a wrestling show? I don't even remember the last time I was booked on a show.
Fuck, I don't know.
That's when I had a Captain and Coke.
Okay, well, yeah.
Captain and Coke.
I don't necessarily have anything else. If anybody has anything that you want to add, you want to bring up a topic, if there's any, if they will give a quick call out to the live chat here. If there's anything anybody wants to ask us before we cut away, but we're probably gonna pack up the show here for this week. Oh, dude, I haven't cut my hair.
Oh,
It's so scary.
We're
Look at
promised.
that.
Me
Why does it
either.
always start halfway through your head?
Because that's the way my hairline works. So like I found pictures of myself when I actually had hair like to here.
You had hair like Tim almost, didn't you?
At one point I had very I had very long hair at one point.
Tim, you look like a disturbing ass troll.
For the most part,
That
I
is
was
so
remember
good.
you rocking like the
I
flat
do have a
top
jewel
jacket.
in my belly button too.
Because part of me, I almost cut my hair last weekend, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna let this thing go. I'm just gonna let it go until the quarantine's over, and just see where I'm at. And maybe I'll have some like fun like bald head hair to kind of go around. Yeah, I know, buddy. What he said. What's left of my hair? Yeah, I know. It's tough. Laura says she's showing up late to the party because she has no sense of time. She's been home for a month. I feel you,
It
Laura.
happens.
Charlie asks, would you rather fart glitter or burp confetti?
Fart glitter all day. What a
That's not
party
even
trick.
a question.
Yeah, come on, Charlie. You got to do better than that. Definitely fart glitter.
Oh no, I'm burping confetti. I mean,
Really?
you're ending up with pants full of glitter nonstop.
Yeah,
And
well,
that's
you
gonna
can
get
just take them
everywhere.
off
Bend over,
and
you
throw
let
them in
that shit
Ryan's
rip.
room like I usually do, apparently.
So you're just like constantly like shaking out the pant leg of glitter.
Well, I mean, I guess so.
You-
But
No, you
burping
bend
confetti
over,
get caught in your throat, and
you
That
bend
gets
over,
like a
and you
party,
bare
though.
ass those farts.
that confetti sticks to everything. Like one time I went to a show and it rained.
Glitter
during the
does
show.
too, bro.
What's that?
Glitter's
Glitter
worse.
sticks to everything too.
I understand that, but I would rather fart glitter into my shorts and just throw the shorts out than have confetti get caught in my throat. I went to a concert one
You're
time.
just throwing out shorts all the time.
All the time.
I mean,
Imagine
we've
what the
already
toilet looks like.
apparently we've already established that I'm rich, so,
It's true.
so obviously I can afford shorts, and like I went to a concert and it rained and then there was confetti and it blew onto the car. You know how long it took me to clear a Ford Explorer with covered in dried on confetti?
More or less time it took you to sweep streamers out of the ring when
More time, surprisingly, but
22
at
minutes.
least at least I didn't have a bitch telling me to tell the people to stop throwing streamers. I know that much.
What concert did you go to, Jim, where you had the confetti?
That was one of the 14 times or something I've seen Kiss. That was one of
That
the
was my
times.
guess.
Oh,
Yeah, and there's a lot of confetti at a Kiss show. Charlie says he would do the confetti. He
Yep.
said if I had glitter all over your clothes, it would look like you went to the booty club. Well, you're not.
I
wrong.
did.
But here's the thing: if if that was just a condition you had that you farted glitter, then you would just explain that to your significant other, and it would provide a really fun opportunity to prove it.
I'd just wear depends.
I would just moon her and fart glitter into her face if she didn't believe me. So you have two choices: either believe me or end up with a face full of ass glitter.
What kind of glitter? Do you think it'd be different colors or one color?
That's a good question.
That is a great question.
In my mind, I picked different colors.
In
That's
my
me
mind,
too.
I pictured like bright green glitter, because when I was in pit orchestra for the Wizard of Oz, that stuff haunted me. Because,
Green glitter
yeah, just green glitter everywhere
from the witch.
from the witch.
Mm.
Oh, Laura brings up a great point. She said, I'm a preschool teacher. Confetti vacuums up, glitter does not. So consider that. I'm also not going to vacuum out my underwear. So,
I just feel like there's a lot of like Craigslist articles you could write and make a couple bucks on the side of your fart and glitter on people.
you probably could. I don't know how much revenue there is in burping confetti. So,
Oh, it's there.
oh, is there now? All right. I think we are going to wrap it up here. We appreciate everybody following along with us and the interaction we've had. Charlie said in his mind he pictured birthday colors for the glitter. Not sure what birthday colors are. Like pink and blue,
Pastel.
like pastels, just bright colors.
Light colors, sure.
Sure. So I mean, so basically glitter. And Zach enjoyed the fact that I said the words ass glitter. So that's a good one. Maybe if I get real bored, I'll isolate that audio and put it onto our soundboard. I mean, hey, I got the time. Devin says glitter as well. So let's round this thing out. Let people
Yeah.
know.
Did you check out Glow yet?
Not yet. I gotta pace myself.
Pace yourself.
I gotta
Pace
pace
yourself.
myself. There's plenty of things to watch. Plenty of time to go around. Oh, Charlie said red,
We
yellow,
have-
blue, green.
We have all seen Tiger King though, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Mark,
That
I'm
bitch Carol
pacing
Baskin-
myself.
that bitch Carol Baskin, man. Definitely killed her husband. Definitely fed it to the Tigers. Spoiler alert. Intern Mark, let people know. I don't even know if and when you get on the Twitter anymore. Zach, take care of yourself, buddy. I love you. I miss you. Intern Mark, where could people follow you if they want to follow Intern Mark on Twitter?
Well, sometimes I get on Twitter, the 3 Count Intern or Intern Mark, or you'll find me on there. I'm one of those.
It's 3 Count Intern.
At 3 Count Intern, the
Three
number
Count
3
Intern.
and the words count intern.
I'm on Twitter every once in a while. I'll try to do better.
All right. Tim, where can they follow you?
At Not the Tool Man across all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, if you care. You're actually in my studio for when I stream live on twitch.tv/Not the Tool Man. I'll be live tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow starting at around 7 p.m. If you want to come by and hang out, that's twitch.tv/Not the Tool Man. And when I'm not here, I do another podcast called Final Wrestling Place, soundcloud.com/Final Wrestling Place, where we talk about the history of wrestling since wrestling is canceled now thanks to COVID-19. So we have a full archive of everything we want to talk about. This season, we're talking about WrestleMania main events. So it's a good, fun time. Hope to see you there. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Wash your hands. And we'll get through this together, guys.
Yeah, no doubt. Charlie says before you guys sign off, he said it's good to see your faces and hear voices. Stay safe, fellas. Devin says, I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Devin, Charlie, for everybody who followed along with us in full or in part, we do appreciate the support as always. Matt, where can people follow you? And I haven't even noticed. Was there a woman of the week this week?
Yeah, that's on me. My bad. There is not. So
no problem.
I will be picking that back up, promise. So follow 3 Count Thursday at 3 Count Thursday on Instagram. On Sunday, I will name a new woman of the week. You can follow me on Twitter at 3CT Affiliate, 3CT, the letter A. Philly is in Philadelphia, the number 8. I did record an interview with Phoebe One Love from down in Texas for the website that will be going up on Saturday. Have more announcements coming with guests. I'm going to try to produce a lot of interview content for you guys with everything on hiatus. Gentlemen, it's been a blast. Love seeing you. Love talking to you. I missed this. I'm glad we were able to do it. Let's do it more often, please.
Yeah. Hopefully this can become a weekly thing, even if it's only like a half hour or something, just to get together and just kind of get our minds off of things for a while. Ryan, where can people follow you?
I don't care. Follow me. It's RYN and then the word Eagle, RYNEAGLE. But again, it's more important to always follow the 3 Count Thursday pages. Always the number 3, never the word 3. And before I go, I just want to say, if you are going out, wear a mask. I don't wear a mask for myself. I wear it for you. And I expect you to do the same for me if you guys are out. So put a mask on. It's the least you can do. It's not much. It's not taking away your fucking freedoms. So do what you can to prevent it for me, and I'll do what I can to keep you safe.
Yeah, you can follow me at Big Jim Sports. But yeah, follow the show, 3 Count Thursday, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can also find everything over at 3countthursday.com. Thank you guys. That's been fun. And most important for everybody, please stay safe. Hang in there. Look, we know it's tough. Like this is not an easy thing. I always thought I was a bit of a homebody. I have found out I am a much more social person than I ever realized a little over a month ago. But hang in there. Like it's going to get better. Days are going to get better. The situation's going to get better, and in some fashion, we'll start to get back to normal-ish life here soon. So we thank you for sticking with us, and we will talk to you the next time we talk to you. But just follow us, guys. Thank you.
Go for the pin.
Go for the pin.
Or submission.